Well, welcome to Johnny Johnson, receiver from here in Arizona as well, Mesquite High School, to the 2021 PlayStation Fiesta Bowl 50th anniversary of the Fiesta Bowl. And Johnny, I don't know, before we open up for questions, if there's anything you'd like to say from the outset about returning home to Arizona, finishing out the season in a New Year's Six Bowl for the second straight year, and just the opportunity for you to be able to play on the field at the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl.
I'm just excited, man. Excited to go back home, excited to play in this big time game, and ready to attack it.
Great. As we look to open up for questions, first we'll start with James Crapia from the Oregonian.
Johnny, have you made a decision in terms of your future after this? You do have the option for another year, but will this be the end for you, going home and this being the culmination of your career, or will you choose to come back next year?
I've had some thought going to it, but it hasn't really been on my main focus. I've kind of just been focusing on these games and, playing my best football while I'm still here. So, I haven't made that decision yet.
AJ Jacobson from Rivals.
I was just going to ask you what you've seen from Tyler Shuck the last couple of weeks of practice. How's your connection been with him?
Great. It's always been great. He's putting in a lot of work. He's putting a lot of work after practice. Whether that's meeting, whether that's doing extra drills, and he's working hard.
Jordan Ham from Sports 360 Arizona.
Hey, Johnny, hope you're doing well. How did Chandler prepare you for Pac-12 football and playing at a high rate over multiple years for Oregon now?
I think they did a great job. Practices are basically very similar to the way that we run practices here at Oregon with periods and the way we flex and different stuff. I think outside of that too, in the weight room, they got me ready for sure. And just the discipline, the way we met, the way we prepare for games there is kind of just the exact same way that we do in college. So that really got me ready.
Zachary Martin from the Iowa State Daily.
Yes, hi, Johnny. Good morning. When you watch this Iowa State secondary on film, what's one thing that you notice that really stands out about the way that they've played for all season long, 11 games going into 12 on Saturday?
I think they're a real disciplined group. I think that's what helps them a lot. They play together. It doesn't seem like they play with a lot of selfishness, and they kind of stick to their assignments and do what they have to do to help their team win the game. And it's going to be a good challenge for us.
Matt Preem from 247.
Yeah, Johnny, this Iowa State team plays a different defensive front than you guys have seen all year. I realize you played a 3-3-5 against Nevada last year, but is there any kind of connection between those games, or I guess what's just the challenges of playing this defense and the front that they face?
They're a 3-3-5, so they run a lot of like drop eight and a lot of zone, and we're working on ways to defeat that, and we're putting together our best game plan and working hard to attack that defense.
Go back to James Crapia for a follow-up question.
Johnny, I know you were part of the summer throwing sessions with Tyler. Talking to Coach Minucci, he said that you were part of it with Brock too. So could you ever imagine that in the middle of the summer you were working with two quarterbacks who not only you knew personally, but now you're going to be playing in a game against the other one too?
Yeah, it's interesting how it all plays out, man. But we were just getting work in, us Arizona boys, and it was fun. But now it's time to compete. Now it's time to go to war. So I'm excited.
Jordan Ham for a follow-up question.
Yeah, Johnny, you're a Chandler Wolf. Tyler is a Hamilton Husky. Have you kind of hung things over his head the past couple of years, how Chandler's kind of built that dynasty?
Most definitely. Every opportunity I get to talk about that is, I'm always throwing it in his face because, as long as I was there, we never lost to them. And, we're still on top down in AZ. So I throw that in his face all the time.
Not a surprise, I guess, for young folks to still have that pride. We'll go to AJ Jacobson.
Johnny, I know, obviously the Ducks recruit Arizona very, very heavily, and especially lately. During the recruiting process, now that you're a player here, do you ever get the opportunity to answer questions from recruits from Arizona and talk about how Oregon is, and how does that go?
Pretty smoothly. As you see, we've had some Arizona dudes come through here and be successful and make their way even to the NFL. So, I just kind of let them know how cold it's going to be. The weather change, that's probably the biggest thing. But it's a good transition. We do things well here, so it's pretty exciting seeing more dudes come over the years.
Okay, we're going to go to Max Torres from Scoop Duck.
Johnny, you had a little bit of an unconventional route to Oregon here. When I was looking at you, you were committed to UNLV for a while. That Oregon offer came along, and you switched things up. So after starting at Oregon and having it be a little bit choppy, and then coming to now, looking at your last game potentially, where have you seen your game develop the most?
I think definitely route running. Me overall just becoming physically better, whether that's getting bigger, stronger, and faster here. I think my mental of the game, learning defenses and learning concepts and how offenses work just universally, not just here, but in different places. I think my knowledge of the game has just grown a lot. And, I'm still on my way to get a lot better. I'm nowhere close to where I want to be.
Sorry, Paul Sham from AZ Big Media.
Hey, Johnny. So your breakout season last year culminated with the Rose Bowl victory over a tough defense in Wisconsin. In your second consecutive New Year's Six Bowl, what do you think last year's experience on such a big stage has done for your preparation for this year's experience here at the Fiesta Bowl?
I think you just, I think when big time games like this, not just big time games, but any game, it's going to come down to every single play. And like we talk about here, there's going to be 4 or 5 games in 4 or 5 plays in a game that are going to determine the outcome at the end of the day. And you never know when that play is going to be. So you got to take advantage of every snap. Every snap matters. So yeah, that's kind of my knowledge that I've grown from it.
Matt Preem.
This year, I'm sure, has been taxing mentally just equally as it has been physically. What's just been the overwhelming positive for you this season and being able to play this game?
Just at the end of the day, getting better, playing this game that I've been playing since I was a kid, and just out here having fun and being able to do what I love to do, because there's a lot of people in the country, around the world that aren't allowed to do what they want to do because of this pandemic. So I just take it as a blessing every day and keep moving forward.
Go back to Zachary Martin from the Iowa State Daily.
Johnny, can you put into words the roller coaster of emotions this team has had in the last 3 weeks of being a COVID replacement for Washington in the Pac-12 title game, beat USC, and now you're ready to play a top 10 opponent in Iowa State? Just describe the last 3 weeks in general for this team.
Man, it's been a lot of ups and downs. I mean, we've been kind of in the position where we didn't play good enough, taking them 2 losses, and that kind of put us in the boat where we're not in the hands of our future. And then when they said we weren't playing in the championship, it was a big downer, but we were gonna go hard regardless. But when they announced that we were going to the game, it was exciting for all of us, because we got the chance to get the back-to-back championship. So that was exciting, and now we're just excited for this even bigger step, going to this Fiesta Bowl.
Max Torres, follow-up question.
Johnny, one interesting hire we saw this offseason was your position coach, Brian McLendon. What have you kind of seen from him? What has he brought to the program, and what's your relationship like with him?
My relationship's great with him. Since day one, he came in and put us to work and set the tone. And he's brought a lot of, I would say he's polished the room a lot in different ways, whether that's the culture of the room, our route running, our ability, what we work on every day, us catching the ball, different things. He's brought a lot to this, not only our room, but to this team in particular. So, I'm excited to be with him.
Matt Preem, I see your hands raised. I believe it's a new question. If so, please go ahead.
Yeah, Mario's always talked about elevating the standard at Oregon. Verone McKinley a couple of days ago brought up how the standard at Oregon is playing in these types of bowl games. And being as someone who showed up in 2017 with a new coach and multiple coaching changes since then, and just in your time at Oregon, how has the standard changed for this program?
Um, I don't know if the standard has changed. I think we've always had that goal, but actually, I'll say the standard has changed because we try to get better, and at the end of the day, the standard is unachievable. What we want to be, the culture that we want to have is unachievable because we're always reaching to get better and better and go higher and higher. So just continue to elevate. It just kept moving from where we were before. So I think it's just going to continue to get better and keep going.
Josh Shelton from KDRV.
Johnny, you've played in a few bowl games in your career. What's it going to take to win this one, and what's it take in general just to come out and perform in a bowl game?
Coming out firing, excited, and putting everything into every snap, and keeping your foot on the gas, not letting up, not getting comfortable, and at the end of the day, it's going to come down to every play, and everybody has ability, but it's really going to come down to whose will is going to break first. So we got to take the will out of them.
James Croupier.
Johnny, just to go back to the original question, I can respect that you haven't decided yet, but what will go into your decision about next season? And have you filled out the NFL paperwork? Ordinarily that's for juniors, but I suppose you could probably do it again since you have another year. But what will the factors be in the decision-making process for you?
I got to talk to different people, kind of see just where I am. And, it's not just about where I'm going in the draft. There's also stuff that I wanted to do here. There's goals I wanted to meet. So, there's going to be a lot of things that go into it. I haven't really thought about it, but, time will come. We'll find out.
Warren Williamson.
Johnny, kind of along that same line that James just asked, how disappointing is it for you if this is your last game to not have that full game experience of being in Arizona for the entire week?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
So I'm just curious if this is your last game, and with COVID and the pandemic, you don't get to enjoy the full experience of a regular bowl game like we did last year in Los Angeles. Is it disappointing as a player not to have that full bowl game experience?
Yeah, I mean, it's some of a downer, that's what comes with it. But this year has just been full of twists and turns. So, at the end of the day, I'm here to play the game. I'm here to win the football game. So that's what's most important to me. So I'll be fine.
I'll do one last sweep for questions for Johnny, but while that's happening, Johnny, just what's your emotion going to be like and kind of your five senses as you walk through the tunnel at the stadium, as you take the field for the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl, on Saturday afternoon? I'm sure it's going to be a little different than even going into Autzen or anybody else.
It's going to be exciting. I mean, there's going to be some fans, so that might be a little bit more energy in the building. It's just exciting though, regardless if I'll be back or not next year. I mean, this is the last game for the 2020 Ducks. So, I'm excited to end it the right way.
Great. And with that, Johnny, I think you've satisfied all of our media friends with your answers to the questions. Thank you very much for your time. Congratulations on a good and different season, and look forward to having you on the field here on Saturday afternoon, back in your hometown, and being able to visit with your friends and family and eat some of that Arizona food. I didn't ask you what dish you're most looking forward to having when you get back home. You can share that if you want, but I'm sure there's plenty.
Definitely, just some good fried chicken. That's really like what I've been waiting for. So, grandma and moms will have that ready for me when I get back.
Well, congratulations again. Look forward to that. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate y'all.